What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the LV Raider 10 YouTube channel. We obviously just came off a terrible performance from week number 3 against the Washington Commanders, and I'm just hoping that from here on forward it gets much better. But let's go ahead and let's get into a preview for the Chicago Bears.
Las Vegas Raiders back at home on the Strip, hoping their latest pull on the win machine comes up W's and gets them back to 500, which the visiting Chicago Bears are trying to reach as well after breaking into the win column last week.
Back, zips one, and it's picked off, and that will officially seal the deal.
Took a little longer than expected, but Matt Eberflus did make Caleb Williams look great again. Bear down, will take it, better late than never. Caleb hits Sin City off his best
NFL's throwing shade right there.
game as a pro, 298 yards, 4 TDs, no picks, a plus 140 rate, over 10 yards per attempt, lots of chunky throws, first 100 rate game of the year.
Williams looking, pressured, throws, caught, touchdown!
Yeah, the Raiders normally have a pretty bad time playing against good quarterbacks. Although I do think Caleb Williams is a very good quarterback, just the talent wise. I've seen multiple film breakdowns of how he doesn't really play within the system that Ben Johnson wants to play. So if he does play within that system, I think that it can give us some problems. But so far in the season, he kind of does his own thing. He likes to roll out, make his own plays, and that it could work against a team like the Cowboys, who are quite dysfunctional right now. But I think that with the experience that the Raiders defense has, and Patrick Graham being a really good defensive coordinator, I don't think that's going to be the case this week, to be honest. But a lot of people are expecting Caleb Williams to completely dice up this Raiders defense, and I just don't think that's going to happen.
So the Raiders are looking at an offense that just cracked 30 for the first time in 2025, 24 plus points, 2 of their 3 contests.
Then Caleb Williams just kept going. Receivers were running open all day, different guys.
That means we have a 30-point offense trying to keep it going versus a Raiders defense that gave up 34 of the 41 points they allowed week 3 to Washington. First time they've given up more than 21.
Throwing it because he wants to close the game out, but instead will take it into the end zone.
Raiders secondary that Williams is facing gave up a TD to Marcus Mariota. Not many yards, but a rate allowed near 120, which pushed their season figure over 100.
Mariota to throw it open. Zach Ertz at midfield.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota ran a lot to kind of really get the defense of the Raiders off balance. And although I do think Caleb Williams is a great runner in his own right, I don't think that's what he wants to do. He wasn't Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota was known to be that zone read kind of guy. The Bears don't want to do that with Caleb Williams. They want to keep him in as a passer, and I think that's what he's going to do. So I'm not completely super worried about the running ability, because I don't think they're going to have a lot of designed runs for Caleb Williams. But I do believe that if he has the shot, he's going to take it, and that's where it could be kind of iffy.
Caleb's success last week tied in large part to the protection he got. He had some dropbacks where he was able to just camp out. Not a single sack taken on 28 pass attempts.
Wow, terrific pocket, standing in there behind Tooney and Dahlman and Jackson.
He'll have Mad Max chasing him around this week. Finished the job once versus Washington, has a bag in 2 of their 3.
He's going to go down in here, and Max is just going to explode. He sees the whole thing, blows it up.
Crosby, the only Raider to make it home on 21 pass attempts, though. Secondary gave up a couple big splash plays, a 56-yarder to Terry McLaurin, who went for 74 yards against him, a 43-yard TD given up to Luke McCaffrey. 8 guys caught Williams' passes versus Dallas. Colston Loveland, a 31-yarder. Olamide Zaccheaus, 24 yards. DJ Moore scored, only 21 yards. Cole Kmet scored, only 10 yards. Rookie Luther Burden made his first big impact with over 100 yards and a TD, thanks to a little flea flicker action.
To Swift trying to get a flea flicker. Throws a seed, has a man, it is caught for a touchdown!
That's what the Raiders defense is going to have to try and prevent, is those deep passes. To me, watching some Bears games and looking at some film, they want to hit that intermediate pass, and that has kind of been the Raiders' Achilles heel so far on the defensive side of the ball. I've seen it a lot against the Chargers. That's the exact zone that they wanted to attack. And Ben Johnson is a smart offensive coordinator. He's a smart offensive mind. As soon as those, get taken away, he's going to take the shot over the top. And last week, that was extremely detrimental to the Raiders defense. Those big play balls down the field. Obviously, like he said, Luke McCaffrey and Terry McLaurin got 2 scores. Basically, Terry McLaurin got a score on that. And then Luke McCaffrey scored it to basically ice the game. That's what the Raiders need to really shut down. As long as the pass rush gets to Caleb Williams, I feel like this could be a lot more manageable game because Caleb Williams gets extremely flustered as soon as there's pressure in the pocket. And kudos to the Bears because they have really revamped their offensive line to protect Caleb Williams. Max has to really, get a game going here. And I think he could.
Rome Odunze, 62 yards and a score. He has started the year with a TD in all 3 games.
Williams has a man wide open. He's got a touchdown, Odunze.
And running back DeAndre Swift struggled again as a runner, under 2.3 per carry in 2 of 3 games, but gave him 45 yards out of the backfield.
They get the lineman out in front, get Swift in space, and let him do the rest.
Maybe he can find some room versus a Vegas defense that gave up over 200 yards on the ground to Washington on over 6 yards per attempt, 3 rushing TDs allowed.
Still on his feet, Jeremy McNichols. I don't think they're going to get him.
Raiders D hoping its offense can help out by not waiting till the 4th quarter to fire things up. It's not that they hit week 4 struggling to score. 24 in their week 3 loss is okay at least, and the most they've scored this year.
Dumps it off to the end zone. Touchdown, Las Vegas Raiders.
If you turned that game on late, you'd have thought Geno Smith was killing it. 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, a rate over 130. He's gone for a 100-plus rate in 2 of 3, 289-plus in 2 of 3.
Smith rolling, throwing, and open is Jacoby Myers inside the 30. Down.
Yeah, Geno Smith has done really good with what he has been given with the cards that he's dealt so far. And that's obviously a bad offensive line, a bad running game because we cannot block on the offensive line. I really want to see the Raiders offense explore Ashton Denty's potential in this game. We've seen multiple times on our live shows that Bears fans came in and said that their run defense wasn't the best. So I really want to see Ashton Genty take advantage of that and try to, be the Ashton Genty we picked him 6 overall to be. So that's what I really want to see. I really hope that we don't have to put it on Geno Smith's shoulders this time again, which we've been having to for the past 3 weeks, and that's obviously have not been working. It worked once against a New England team that is not very good right now. So with the better teams, we're going to have a more balanced offense, and that's what we've been really searching for so far.
The sideline he goes.
You might have also thought you were watching the most dominant receiver in the game. Trey Tucker hits this week off a 3-touchdown outing, 145 yards.
Going deep. That's Trey Tucker in for the touchdown.
The Bears defense they try to carry the momentum over against held Dallas to 14 points, 3 for 11 on 3rd down, their best offering on D so far.
Exactly what you need when the ball's tipped up in the air. You got everyone hustling to the ball.
Bears secondary didn't have to worry about CeeDee Lamb for too much of the game, but remember, they didn't have their top corner either. Still held Dak to a low 70s rate, picked him off twice, came out with 3 interceptions total. Also that group's strongest outing.
Can't find anyone floating. Intercepted again by Tremaine Edmonds.
Did give up 292 yards, so 64 yards allowed to Cavonte Turpin, 68 and a touchdown to George Pickens, 82 yards to Jake Ferguson, but on 13 receptions, they held him to 6.3 per catch. They get to see what Brock Bowers is about next, only 38 yards last week. He's still trying to get back to 100% health. Dante Thornton gave him 29 yards versus Washington. Jacoby Myers, the second fiddle to Tucker with 63 yards. He's been good for that or more in each game.
Throw high, but hauled in by Jacoby Myers.
To me, this is a really big Brock Bowers game. I think that he's going to be completely healthy from here on out, barring any different injury, knock on wood, of course. But I think this is the Brock Bowers game that he gets back to the numbers that we're used to seeing him have. The past 2 weeks, he looked pretty injured and banged up, but I think that we saw flashes this past week of what he was last season, and I think that from here on out, we're going to go ahead and get the Brock Bowers that we are expecting to have. So I expect Brock Bowers to have a really big game.
Chicago pass rush hasn't been great at getting home, but Montez Sweat did get to Dak once, Bears with 2 sacks.
And he's in trouble, and he goes down for the sack. Montez Sweat gets home.
Maybe they can meet up a little more with Geno, being he was planted 5 times by the Commanders.
That is just terrible. That it is just terrible. This play in specific that they're showing right here too, I'm pretty sure this is Bobby Wagner, came straight through, unblocked, untouched, unrecognized. Dylan Parham flies out to the left to block nobody. So I don't know whether or not they have to figure out protection and calls up front, and that's on Jordan Meredith. But from what I've been hearing from Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll, that he's been doing very well at center, calling out protections and changing everything like a center is supposed to do. This was just missed. This was completely just missed. But our offensive line has got to be better across the board. Pass protection, run blocking, it has to be all better. This is not good right here. 5 sacks taken. Now, the Commanders have a really good defense, but this should not happen just in general. This should be limited. Like they're gonna get theirs, of course. They're, like I said, they're a good defense, but 5 sacks is way too many.
Pressure coming, and he sacks Bobby Wagner again.
And are we going to see Ashton Jeanty break out anytime soon? Still hasn't eclipsed 4 per run in any game, 63 yards, 3.7 per last week, but he would...
That play right there shows exactly what Ashton Jeanty has been put through. He is getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. He bounces off a tackle, gets up the field to gain 2, maybe 3 yards. He always has to make the first person miss behind the line of scrimmage just to get any kind of yardage, any positive yardage. And if we put him in the best possible position, he is right on the brink of breaking a good one. And that's what all of Raider Nation has been waiting for. And I know that's what I've been waiting for, is to see a really big, long run that he was known for at Boise State. We just got to get the blocking right, honestly. As soon as we fix our offensive line problems, I think that the Raiders are going to be a much better, more balanced team. It starts up front. It starts in the trenches. And we got to figure out what is going on there.
Seem to have a shot at a little something versus a Chicago defense that has given up 5.5 a carry over 3 games, gave up over 6 per attempt to Dallas, had trouble with Javonte Williams.
Williams looking for some blocks, gets some first down and more.
Since 1990, 2-2 teams have made the playoffs 37% of the time, 1-3, 13%. So there's a lot on the line. Chapter 1 between the two, 1972, not a bad start to the book.
Game 14, and Marv Hubbard, who finished with a record 1,100 yards rushing, was presented the annual Gorman Award. Then Clarence Davis and the offensive line buried the Bears before a 38th consecutive sellout crowd, and Oakland entered the playoffs with a 10-3-1 record.
That is exactly what I want to see the Raiders do. Run the ball down this Bears defense who has trouble stopping the run. That's all I want to see. That's exactly what I want to see. But here we go. It looks really even. Obviously, there's only 3 Raiders, but I'm surprised to see that people are picking the Raiders, especially after the poor performance that they just put up against Washington. And then the Bears had a really good game against Dallas, so I'm surprised that there's even this many Raiders on the screen right now. But of course, MJD is always going to have a little Raider love for him, so I like that. Most of them have a pretty close game. It looks like within a touchdown for most of them. That's exactly what I have it too. So my prediction is 21-14 with the Raiders winning. I think that the Raiders have a good enough constructed team to beat this Bears offense and this Bears team in general. I just want to see them run the ball. I want to see Ashton Jeanty get at least 20 carries this game. Given the opportunity, Ashton Jeanty will make the most out of those carries, so I want to see him really take off this game. I want to see Brock Bowers have a big game. I think he is ready to break one too. And then defensively, I want to see Max get in there. I want to see pressure from up front in the middle with Thomas Booker and Adam Butler. I think that we have a really good front four. We really need to see Malcolm Kuntz. I'm not sure where he's been. I really want to see him do something in this game. But I think the Raiders should win this game. I think we are better coached than them, and I think we just have a better constructed team so far. But let me know what you guys think. What is the score of the game going to be? Let me know down in the comments below. Please make sure to like. Please make sure to subscribe. And as always, just win, baby.